right, Shalawam. This is GMS Wallens coming at you with another Shabbat lesson as we always do. When we all praise and glory and honor to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham,
right, double honor to the elders, apostles of GMS. These blessings and citations once again to the hopeful elect. Right, and those that follow after the Lamb and YAHAWASHI. Okay, and this particular lesson is going to swing from the lesson that we did last night. You know what I'm saying? That Esau is coming with his wrath, all these different futuristic weapons. All right, with the mind to ultimately destroy, because he's going to make an attempt to destroy the elect and the nation of Israel again. So, seeing all that, man, we need YAHAWASHI, man. But we started off with that, nice and good. Bounce it off around the room, man.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22. It says, I'll start at 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened."
And we can see, man, we can see that, the way this so-called white man is coming, with the weapons that he's coming with, if the Lord doesn't come back soon, man, there'll be no flesh sake. This man will go on a tyrannical, a mass murdering spree, man. All right? And it's already, we already on that level for with the foods, the people catching the big C, can, you know what I'm saying, bro, because I gotta deal with YouTube algorithm. But everybody catching the big C, everybody, you got the jab, dropping dead, 20-year-olds, huh? Suddenly, man. Suddenly. And then I got something called sudden death syndrome. Where that shit come about, man? But this is what's going on, man. And we need salvation. We ultimately need YAHAWASHI, man. Right? We need the kingdom, and ultimately for the elect men, we need them spiritual powers, man. In order to even try to combat and go against this devil, man. This devil, he's coming from a whole nother. Really, you can tell, man. Like I think yesterday, pulled up one picture. It was looked like a futuristic rifle, man. This nigga got power from the left hand, man. You can clearly see that. You can clearly see that this is coming from a whole nother spectrum of the minds of thinking and to come up with this type of shit, man. All right? But I'm gonna let y'all first. I'm gonna let Tom run around too.
You had made a point earlier, going into how this devil will pretty much start coming after us. So I wanted to grab it. Revelations 12 and 17. It reads, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of YAHAWASHI and Mashiach."
So who's the remnant of that seed that keep the testimony? Ultimately, the elect, man.
That's right.
Right? The devil going, we know this, man. With all this knowledge and all this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the Lord unleashed his men. You can clearly tell this is even with us, man. You got the left hand side doing his thing with these weapons, and then you got this two-edged sword the Lord unleashed, this weapon the Lord unleashed to us. You can tell it's two Goliaths, two worlds having it's on a collision course, basically, man. All right? We know what the left hand is doing, and they know what we're doing on the righteous side, man. All right? And these devils don't want us to preach this, man, or come out with this what we have, or even know this. So what they gonna do? They plan on destroying us too, man. And I'm talking about the elect. That's what the Lord says in the book of Jeremiah. He's gonna lift up a standard in that day, man. When they do try to come. All right, because we're gonna ultimately need help from the Lord, man. Yeah, we're gonna need divine intervention. Right, we're gonna need, like I told the brother again, Daniels. And we see why Michael wanted to stand up, man. Which Michael is the top archangel, going to step into play, intervene in certain situations. The Lord himself wanted to intervene. All right, because Because these devils had it their way. Really, I'm gonna say that 2/3 had it their way. They say 2/3 had it their way for one weekend. They had to kill us, man. They'll jump the curb with a van, run over us, shoot us. You know, they'll do what they want to do, man. Because this is when you speak of this is evil spoken of, man. When you speak righteousness, you've spoken in an evil manner, man. All right. Yeah, get that one.
This Amos 12:1, and it reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book."
Right, and this is what we clearly talking about, man. The sacrifice that the Lord has put us out there on the highways and byways to tell you what's finna come, man. Right, putting our bodies out there as a living sacrifice. Because guess what? Ultimately, martial law is going to happen. Right, the wrath of this devil is going to come down on 2/3, man, in his own people. Right, we clearly here set up to warn you that this is how bad it's going to be. It's going to be so bad to where, you know, the Lord will have to get angels to intervene. This devil is going to come down with extreme prejudice, man, draconian laws, right? Because he's ready to wig out too, man. Because he know that, like the scripture says in Revelation 12:12, he know that he would have it for a short time. So seeing that, I'm gonna say this, how do he know he had a short time? Because he knows these scriptures too, man. All right, he's very keen and aware of certain events happening leading up to YAHAWASHI coming back. That's why, let's not get crazy here. This man is all of a sudden came up with something called Space Force. Why is that? Why has he put big satellites in California and on the East Coast and around New York? They had scopes they could look out in the heavens because they want to know when he's coming, man. All right? But ultimately, keep going. They got like go to 2. Yeah, read 2.
It says, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to serve everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt."
Which is that going to be taken part in the kingdom. Some of you going to wait to everlasting life. Now that deals with the 1/3 elect awakening and coming to the understanding of the God, coming back to the Most High. You know, you're going to be okay, but they're going to have some of you Israelites going to be everlasting contempt because you loathe the Most High's laws. You was caught up in Babylon the Great. Ultimately, you got destroyed, man. All right? And the Lord's going to ultimately, too, give you a glimpse of who you are and what you was doing, your deeds, man. Right? Whether that was in the world or in the truth. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, go ahead.
Okay. This is Psalms 124. I'm going to start at verse 1. "If it had not been Yahawah who was on our side, now may Israel say, if it had not been Yahawah who was on our side when men rose up against us."
Yeah, it would be true, man. All right, and Lord will the Lord be on our side, man, and grant us salvation. That he definitely is going to be that forge, man, that covering. All right, when our enemies come to eat our flesh, man, to come to actually destroy us. All right, that's the plans he planned on doing to 2/3 of it, man, and we can see it. This man is gearing up for all-out war, man. All right, and he's basically deemed war on you tribes.
Verse 3. "Then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us.
That's right.
Then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be Yahawah, who had not given us as a prey to their teeth."
Yeah. And with their teeth, can go into many things. They go into their soldiers, they can go into them, different devices, all types of stuff, man. But blessed is the Most High who has not given us over to them. All right? But you know, like the Lord said, for a lot of you, He's going to give over to 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to give over to the teeth of these nations, the teeth of Esau, man, so he can devour them. Right? That's what the Lord's talking about. Laugh at their calamity in that day, man. Bring it out then, let the spirit,
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 24. It says, because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
How is he stretching out his hand? Right now to the prophets and teachers. Right? Every Saturday, all throughout the world, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. All right? And sometimes through the week you got assembly of men in different age brackets assembling and coming themselves out there in unison on the block, preaching and talking about the Lord, man. That's how he's stretching forth his hand. Wake up, come back to me. Danger is coming. We're blowing the trumpet. We're blowing the trumpet along me, man. But nobody's clearly taking heed. Go ahead.
Verse 25, it says, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh.
The Lord is going to mock when your fear cometh. Right? When Esau come up there with these super soldiers, 20, 50 deep, with all sorts of killing instruments and weapons, tanks, Humvees, all right? He's going to come through your neighborhood with the Duke, He gonna come with the Duke over here, all right? You niggas in O Block, you niggas uptown on Martin Luther King, you niggas on Mason, niggas on level Mason, all right? With that shit, man. Jakes ain't ready for what's to come, man. Right? We clearly try to make you ready for the battle, but what you do? You mock us. You think we out here for the play? Look at them guys, they in dresses. Jake take their pictures so they can go home and talk shit. You can go home and show your little cousin. Look at this. Look what I seen today. All right, but it's not gonna be a laughing matter. It's not gonna be a game, man. All right, and nearly what we brought out yesterday should ring the alarm to 2/3. Like, man, this guy has elite weapons. Really, I'm gonna say this: the Most High gave him that, man. The Most High gave him them elite weapons to bring forth a sword slaughter to you, Jakes, man. All right, you disobedient, you hard-headed, stiff-necked Israelites, man. All right, you tontos too, man. You wet-back Mexicans too, man. You fucking Northern Kingdom. You brought some of the most, you the top tier of doing the bidding for the white man, man. All right, go ahead. You got more?
Yeah, I got one.
Come on.
It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and when your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
Yeah. When it just poof upon you, man. All right, we're gonna see. Everybody got a lot to say about the Israelites, a lot to say about Jesus, a lot to say about different brothers. We're gonna see in that day, man. The Lord gonna test. What did it say? The Lord gonna try to see if you gonna keep that same energy in that day. When He separates you from you men, separate you from your wives and your girlfriends and your side pieces and your children. We'll see how you still thinking and moving, man. You women, all right. Like I said, this is what it's coming down to, man. And that's why we sow the seed. Those that approved man, what the scripture say? Oh, this word. Y'all might know.
See the evil and hide it.
Yeah, approved man for see the evil hide it. So we hide ourselves with this truth. A lot of you ain't hiding yourself at all. We can see danger coming. When we see those things that we went into yesterday for us, the weapons of Esau, man, the blessing of this devil, man. We don't want no part of that. We don't even want the devil to even really, case in point, to do his thing to us, man. Go ahead, Al.
It says, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
That's what's coming. Distress and anguish. Terror. All right? Go ahead.
It says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
And you gonna call on the Lord. Like, you gonna have that famous, I know y'all probably seen that famous pictures from Katrina. You had the bald-headed Edomite woman, Jake woman, she looked like this, got on her knees, and cried up in there. That's gonna be a lot of y'all, man. Crying to sweet Jesus. A lot of you that's in the somewhat in the know, because a lot of you still just got one eyelid open. You still asleep, still in the world. You gonna cry to YAHAWASHI, man. You know? Like that other nigga that was a sovereign citizen told Esau he ain't going, I'm a sovereign citizen. I ain't locked out my window. Esau punched him, He was calling on YAHAWASHI, man, while they were dragging him by his collar. It ain't gonna help you in that day, man. Because you didn't go through the process. You know, we as we're going through the process, man. Just as a true lion would do. A lion, like the analogy, man. A lion, the reason why he's a lion, the reason why he do what he do because of the process, the hunt. Now, a lion will see a actual gazelle or a deer hurt, you're not gonna even kill him. Because why? That skips the whole process of actually being in the hunt, the chase, the process. Right. The ups and downs of not getting it killed, getting it killed, man. They don't want just an easy kill. And just like us, man, we don't want the easy route out. We could have, like I say, the Lord would have just said, hey, you over there. What Jacob would have stayed at the house, man. We went out there. But after a while, this truth becomes a part of you. It starts to be, it gets, what's the word, man? Second nature. It's a second nature. It gets embedded in you. To what this is the process, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of the truth. You start to love it all, man. Right? Go ahead, that was it.
They got one more verse.
Come.
It says, "They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh."
Yeah, and that's gonna be the dip a lot of you. Because I'm gonna say this, we had to tell in, really the Lord's finna get us off the internet, man. The Lord's finna get us off them corners too. All right? You know, like I say, for us down here, you might well say it's over with, man. For us waters, you might got a couple of birds on the side, a couple more birds that's gonna come, and you can see that's it. The doors are gonna be shut. We hope the doors will be shut, man. So this is the rest of the argument that's gonna come, man. That's gonna be it, man. All right. The rest of you niggas, the Lord's gonna come down onto you with supreme judgment. Go ahead. I love y'all break it down too, man.
Back to Shabbat. This is Judges 10 and 13. It says, "Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more." And like I said, back to the point,
Go to 14 too.
Y'all just read real quick. It says, "Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation."
Go, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Go cry unto Buddha, go cry unto Caesar Borgia, go cry unto Latoya Cantrell, Teague. That's what you niggas do, man. You cry to FEMA. Who's some more they cry to?
Joe Biden.
I forgot him. Joe Biden. Barack Hussein Obama, man. All right. Joe Osteen. Creflo. What's the other dollar dude? Creflo Dollar. Benny Hinn. TDJ, man. You say you look like Satan. Yeah, you look like a sea lion to me. You know? Go cry to them gods, man. Let them save you. That's how cold the Most High is, man. You know? But go ahead, you want to say something with that too?
This is
grab some. It's Second Esdras chapter 9, starting at 20. It says, "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it." And the devices goes into the wicked schemes of this man, all the plots. It's Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 20. It says, "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it." Like we're saying, devices going into this man's schemes, his plots, his plans, his devices, his imagination to put a technology in everybody, to turn everybody into cyborgs, to turn the food into stuff that doesn't provide you nutrients. It says, "And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people." Going to the Israelites is a remnant of us that the Lord's going to preserve. And y'all brought this out because if the Lord hadn't preserved that cluster, we'd all be finished. How are you going to get out of Revelation 13 to 16? Like, nobody can buy and sell unless you balance the agenda. Jake don't know how to live off the land. You got a handful of Jakes that can, fish for the most part, but as far as like just living straight up off grid indefinitely, Jake not ready to do that, man. It says, "Let the multitude That's really the only reason they're here is to fulfill prophecy. Right? You got King David, YAHAWASHI, they all prophesied that there would be a bunch of degenerates in the last days that wouldn't get the word. So that's why they're here. Really to sharpen us and keep us locked in and appreciative of the truth.
It says that Romans that they elected that way for your sakes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did something like you.
All right. This Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 10. It reads, Thus said the Lord unto this people, thus have they loved to wander, they have not refrained their feet. Therefore the Lord does not accept them. He will now remember their iniquity and visit their sins. Because they going into these different gods, right? They everywhere but the right place, right? Which is with YAHAWASHI, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But it goes on to say, Then said the Lord unto me, Pray not for this people, for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. When they offer burnt offerings and oblations, I will not accept them. But I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. So that's what you have coming. You know, if you don't turn back and worship YAHAWASHI the proper way, the way of the scriptures, man.
This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14. They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, which is what we're doing right now, blowing this trumpet. All kind. It also says in, I believe, Matthew chapter 11, they're like the children in the market that when we played the tune, they did not dance to it.
That's right.
But none goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon the multitude, that all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. So if you're not of that elect number, you're going to go from one calamity to another until you're ultimately destroyed. I'm going to jump to verse 17. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. All these proud looks and attitudes are going to change quickly once his judgment truly hits. Like it says in Sirach, 1 hour of affliction maketh, pretty much a whole lifetime of pleasures to disappear just like that. That was it.
Yeah, and the prophets have been a sign on that trumpet that's blowing, which is a warning for our people. Which, when you go to Isaiah 58 and 1, we have lifted up our voice like trumpets, but yet they have not hearkened. All right? In the ancient time, trumpets was used for to warn our people to let them know what time it is. That's a warning or a battle cry from the trumpet now. All right? And like the brother said, it's a destruction coming with it from Jeremiah 50 and 22, Revelation 8. All these is a sign, an ensign of what's to come. This Job 5 and 6.
It's like tonight is
Coming into the trumpet.
Memorial blowing the trumpets. The trumpets had different trumpet sounds had a different meaning. Mm-hmm. One was to gather Israel from the east or to the west or from the south. Other ones were certain sounds of alarm that the enemy was coming, man. Mm-hmm. All right, you had to be keen on knowing the sound, the difference of it. Yeah, it's a scripture.
It's
Corinthians. I was looking for that. You had to be locked into that. You can consider us being locked in to the trumpet, man. We are the ones that's blowing it, and we also are aware of it, by the elder apostles too, man. Coming down,
This Job chapter 5, verse 19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles," which those troubles represents the trumpets when you go to Revelation, right? And in those trumpets are destruction, death, famine, sword destruction, right? And it's actually showing how the Lord gonna actually destroy Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, in many ways. And he's gonna do it in a complete way. So the trumpet is blowing a complete sound to show a complete way. It says, he shall deliver deep in 6 trumpets, which represents the elect. It says, yea, in 7, those are those 7 trumpets, there shall no evil touch you. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in walk from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Yeah. So, okay, so in all those things, right, when you go to Amos, all right, it's going to be calamity after calamity. It's going to be judgment after judgment on these people, man. They're going to go from calamity to calamity to calamity. And ultimately, they're going to end in a nuclear holocaust, man, or nuclear fire. All right, so even if these people do escape all the judgments of the Lord, they still got the ultimate judgment that nobody is going to escape. All right, you got it, bro. Y'all got it.
If you're elected, you're going to escape that ultimate judgment.
Yeah, the elect one.
That's why the Lord said he's going to leave a lot of you in here to be melted, man.
Yeah.
You know? Because you are those, according to Ezekiel, you those same different metals. Those metals that
I got that one if you want.
yeah, bring it out. Those metals that it's gonna actually go into, it's really no work, you know, and they're hard. Most of them are hard metals. Going into how hard-headed you jakes are, man. All right, it's nothing more than trying to tell a instructor or tell a hard-headed nigga anything. It's like, you can't get nowhere with them, man. You can't do nothing with them.
You don't want to deal with them.
Yes.
Get away from them.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that dross, like when you refine silver, that dross is what's left over from the refining process that you can't use. It's literally just nothing. It's garbage.
Yeah, like back then, I used to do a little bit of welding, with TIG welding or MIG welding, and all that stuff that runs off the metal, that gray stuff, that's represented as dross. Even when you pick it up, it just melted down metal. It's light, you can break it. There's no work. You can't get nothing for it. But the real centerpiece is what you welded, what the things you bonded together. All right, and that's how you jakes. You're not bonded to the Most High. You just a bunch of dross, nothing work, man. So it's gonna go into 10. It's gonna go read it real fast.
Yeah. This is Ezekiel 22, verse 17. And the word of YAHAWAH came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead.
Yeah, there's nothing working in those metals. You can't get high amounts of money for those metals. All right, there's nothing too much that you can do with them. All right, what it said, what the first one was?
Brass, tin, iron, and lead.
There's nothing working in those things.
It's common. What is common? Base.
Yeah. That's how you jakes become. You went from being gold, represented as gold and silver, to those metals, base. Right? Really, a lot of you have become like the so-called white man. All right? Go ahead.
In the midst of the furnace, they are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass.
And what time? Sometimes what does that mean? I'm gonna gather you in the midst of Jerusalem. Wherever you jakes are at, man. And if ultimately the furnace is what? America. This is the place where you're gonna be burned at and melted at, man. Here. Right? That's why it deems America as different titles too. Ultimately, the most highest one is what? The lake of fire. You know, and when I was in the church, you know, you had a visual in your mind like, yeah, this like this, like that. But then you start to get to understand the scripture, like, whoa, that's clearly talking about America. That's clearly talking about, you know, and we have to understand it now. When it says about being in the chariots, looking out at the windows of the chariots, seeing fire, seeing fire with glass, we have to understand it now. So what it's talking about. And like I said early on, you know how you feel that squeeze in your heart, and that feeling. you know, it's not a beautiful thing, man. Go ahead.
Shit. You're gonna be terrified till you get beamed up on the church. So imagine you one of that Dross left behind. Therefore, verse 20, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there.
Means I'm gonna leave you there. That means what that means, man. You got something that's going with the Lord, according to Second Thessalonians. All right, the what it is, the fourth chapter and the fifth chapter.
First Thessalonians.
Yeah, you got First Thessalonians. You got something that's coming with the Lord. You got something that's gonna be left here, man. It's ultimately burned. It's plain. You ain't gotta go. You don't need to go into all that. It's plain as day. The Lord is making his statement, which he always has made. He always put an address on it. He always signed, sealed, and delivered it, man. Go ahead.
I think they also mentioned in Matthew that they say one shall be left in the field and one taken. Yeah, you know. I just want to add to that. That's another part of the statement.
They also got 2 Ezra 13. Some were happy.
Yeah,
some were
sad.
sad. Some were captive.
Yeah. Real quick. This Revelation 11 and 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up into a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Yeah, and we can't forget the same account happened in the Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. We might have to get that. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, tell you.
Yeah, the strangeness of their salvation.
Yeah, people gonna be moaning and wrong. You're gonna see us get delivered, man.
Their face gonna wax pale. And it's gonna be a shame. They're gonna be looking up, mouths open. Even the apostles, well, the disciples saw YAHAWASHI and get beamed up, and he was like, why stand there gazing? So the men that's gonna get beamed up looking gazing, the people that's gonna get up, they're gonna be like, what's going on with these people? Right. Like the movie The Knowing, when he was getting beamed up, everybody looking like, what's happening, man? What you got?
Hey, there was a Jake that had a dream where he saw, the elect getting beamed up, but he didn't get beamed up. And he was with this woman, and the dream, he said the dream ended right when a wall of fire hit him, and he felt the burn, and then he woke up.
That's very dumb.
That'd be a terrible dream to have.
Yeah.
But we live in reality. We woke, knowing that can happen.
Exactly.
It's the several kind of situation. You got it.
Ezekiel.
And we seen a big fire today. That little shit didn't look pretty, man. So imagine this whole shit going, man.
The Maui
situation. Esau bringing that blessing from the door of heaven down. That shit don't look pretty, man. So how much more?
The
chariots, man. How much more? One missile having concentrated heat of being 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You can't even, like the scripture said, you can't even withstand the opening of an oven, let alone 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit, man.
They come as oven. That kind of food is coming.
Just the heat during this heat wave.
Yeah. Niggas dropping dead. You go ahead, get that out.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Which is that's us, man. We probably take that's us. We're the only ones standing in the face of such that has afflicted us, being the so-called white man. Yes. Going on these highways and byways consistently. You don't see us for 2 months, and then for 9 months or 6 months or 3 months, you don't see us, and you pop back up. It's called self-edifying. All right? We don't do it that way, man. We consistently doing things centered around this truth, man. Even if we're not on that corner, we best believe in another state, another part of the state, or ultimately another state or country, man. Bringing this truth out, man. Right. By other brothers that's doing this, man. All right, because we know that we need salvation. This shit is to come. It's gonna be hella gruesome, man. All right, just the fear of that which motivates and pushes us. All right, drives us to do what we do, man. Cause ultimately, like I said, not only I'm trying to get delivered, trying to get brothers delivered and brothers' families, man. All right, the friends of the prophets. You know, all those are gonna be considered too, man. Look at
Kind of verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Only thing that can bring the strangers without salvation is what? Via the chariots of Israel, man. All right, the vehicles of the vehicles of death, the vehicles of death and destruction, and the vehicles of salvation, man. For the election in 1/3. All right, the Lord called them plagues, I believe. You know,
Curses.
yeah, it's a curse that go over the whole earth. That's what I meant to say. You know, you don't have to get it, but that's what I meant to say. You know, go ahead.
It says, so far beyond all that they look for.
It's far beyond the average comprehension of the average person in this world, outside of the truth. But they're not looking for that. They're not looking for the Lord to come like that. All right? Just as the Lord has done his thing already. He came back on a what? On a goddamn donkey. On the ass, man. Which him being who he is was the epitome of humility, man. Lowliness, man. Now the Lord tell you in Isaiah the 63rd chapter, he's coming back with glory.
Yeah, I'm not meeting as a man.
I'm coming back with my whole shit, man.
Yeah.
My good shit.
Yeah, my good shit, man. So everything has its time, man. And the Lord is ready for his time. He's ready for that grand entrance, man, that he's going to make. To get his brothers, you know? Go ahead.
It's verse 3. It says, and they, repentant and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
This is the account of the people that's going to base the big people that came up against us in this society, whether it be our women, past girlfriends, parents, you name it, man. So-called co-workers, you name it. Because these niggas had us in derision, man, and put us in jail, fights, bonds, scoffers, all type of shit, man. This is them. This is the account of them. This is what they're gonna say when they see us get beamed up, you know, away from all this chaos and drama that this devil Esau is ready to bring down. Go ahead.
It says, verse 4, we fools have madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints?
Yeah, that's why we always go into that song, when the saints go marching in, I want to be in that number. That was talking about the elect, man, and we hope to be in it. All right? It's funny how, you know, we here in the city where they call themselves the saints, man. They're really the devils. They use a white supremacy sign, all right, as an emblem for display of somewhat trying to be righteous. These are devils here, man.
It's a branding.
Yeah. And I'm talking about that damn Florida lease shit, man. It's like I say, but we know what everything means now because the Lord has blessed us from on high with this knowledge, man. We can see. We can see every time. You notice ever since we came into the truth, all right, from the beginning. Now, when we see mass shootings, what happens? The Lord didn't even put on the spirit of the Edomites to expose what's going on. Birds are exposing what's going on. That shit didn't happen in Maui. We can see that clearly fire doesn't do that. A wildfire, a hurricane. They said a hurricane brought fire.
Yeah.
For a wildfire.
It looked like
Oprah sounds.
it looked like thunder hit it. Usually when something burned, it looked smoked out. It looked like some type of thunder was in the fire or something. It looked completely different, man.
Yeah, and then what's crazy, you know, you got all you hard asses people. They said that they down there now that all they can smell is death. You got grown ass men growing up because they see dead animals, dead people, just skeletons now, man. You know, that's your people. You're not ready for what's to come, man. All right. Yeah, a little more.
That was it. I was it on that.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get a couple more. We got
42.
We'll cut it short. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'll just get it real quick, just to back up what you were saying about how, you know, people have this proud, tough image out there, but when shit starts to happen, hey, that drops like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, when they just get to rolling down the street, man, people all of a sudden wakes up. You know, that's what it takes for you people. It takes blood, guts, and ass to be display out there, heads rolling down the goddamn street, literally. Oh, I don't want to do that. What are you saying? They listen to that, but it's not bullshit.
Right now.
You know, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 2, verse 11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day.
Go ahead. Yeah, so you can say something on it.
Point blank, period. Well, once these judgments, which they already started, but once we in the full force of Jacob's trouble, hey, well, people are going to know that there's a higher power with some of the wild stuff that's going to take place. It literally talks about creatures newly created appearing out of nowhere. Angels, apparitions, angels, chariots,
Gross darkness. But the Lord said also, everything that He done Egypt, He's going to do this Egypt the same. You know, when you read those accounts in the Old Testament, what happened to Egypt, you be like, goddamn, even brother, even myself, I have read accounts from the papyrus.
The Imperial Papyrus.
The Imperial Papyrus, you know, which was eyewitness accounts in Egypt of what happened. You can tell that people actually seen these things with their own eyes, man.
He was saying all the plagues that took place, like I witnessed the rivers turn to blood, all the firstborn, even the cattle died.
Like the locusts, everything, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 12. For the day of Yahawah of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty.
That's the bulk of America, man. You know, because all you people are proud in your own wicked ass way, man. All right, whether you proud with money, you're proud this attitude,
Instagram followers.
yeah, you name it, man.
PCs.
Good.
And we saw how weak you people were during the lockdowns. It only been about a couple of weeks, and people are already taking swan dives off the top of their apartment buildings.
Yeah, going upside their old lady head, man. You know, this is divorces and domestic violence skyrocketing, man.
Hey, I had a family. This was when in the midst of it. I had a family member tell me, you know, I really can't deal with being around my kids. Like that's your children.
Yeah, man.
For the day of Yahawah of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
You're gonna be brought low with the different terrors and events that the Lord's gonna present to you, man. All right, and we, like I say, the Lord will we be right there in the midst, laughing at you, man. All right, just as the Lord said it's gonna happen. We're gonna laugh at you, man. The Lord will. All right. This shit is all fun and games. Like it's a saying. Y'all might know it. Kind of escaped my mind right now. But Elder Ramhoff said. He said something about everything is real until the shit go down or something.
It's a joke. I know what you're saying.
It's fun and games until shit gets real.
Yeah, everything's fun and games and shit get real, man. You know, like Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the goddamn mouth. Same thing with you people. Like this one guy at the tent place some years back. I'm going to escape out of all of them. Go to. I got a dam I'm gonna go to. Everybody got a plan. I got all these guns and shit. You might ain't better get to this shit, man. The Lord had you on the other side of town, some goddamn what? Ass out, literally.
I'm about to say something. That's why they're going to, that day coming as a thief. You know, they planning a perfect scenario when they
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride back with the F-250 truck, pull in the garage all crazy, get the bug out bag, get the water. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen that way.
The Yeti cooler.
Yeah, the Yeti.
You a real Yeti.
Get my favorite cap and put it on my head. It ain't gonna happen that way, man.
Camouflage jacket.
Yeah. You know, the Lord will have some demons pulling up in a demon on you, man. All right? Get ready to get about that business on you. All right? They've been staking you out for 3 months. Go ahead, Doc.
Come. Nah, just like you had people, you gotta watch how you prepare to the Lord, because even that, you can do that in a way where it can show us a lack of faith. And even with preparing, you gotta still trust in the Lord. Like the Lord, like don't worry about for tomorrow, for it to take care of itself.
That's
So
the
anything
spirit.
that's in front of you.
Spirit, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But wait till you finish. I was gonna say that, man.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Because you know we faith based, man. We
That's
faith
it.
based Israelites, man. We
That's
deal.
pretty much it at this point.
You know, we prepare in our minds ahead, but we deal with the now too.
That's
Man.
it.
All right, and we ultimately, you know, it's to the point, you know, because we understand that every day is a spirit within itself.
Yes.
Whatever's gonna happen, man. But like I said, we don't move how you people move, man. You be talking about shit what you gonna do in the next 30 years. It's clearly up. Yeah. And don't make it from hour from now, man. Man, you heard your boy nah, right here. We hear it all the time down here. We hear it all the time. I'm talking about friends, family members.
At the job.
You're out of here.
Yeah. You did. You get that. You ever been in the house when your mom or whatever get that call or your people get that call?
Silence.
What's on? Phone drop.
Drop the phone.
Run around. What's going on? Hello? Man, where you at? We didn't see that shit. But that same person, he was preparing for college and all type of shit down the line. You can't think like that, man. Especially when you're not in this, you know. No, we prepare ourselves. Go ahead.
I think you might have posted it, bro. Amawan Gabar did a video this morning saying he was on his way to work and a car started hydroplaning and spinning towards him in a split second. And if it weren't for a barrier there, he said I would have been done. But he was just saying, hey, that just goes to show you how quickly judgment can come.
Mm-hmm.
He said that Busta Rhymes song was on the radio, Sudden Destruction.
Yeah.
And the swiftness of the Lord judgment, that's what calmed the people down. Like how can I say the people in Maui right now, they all in shock. Like, what? I don't know. It's like it brings a calmness. Debt. If one thing don't get people mind right, it's gonna be debt.
Yeah.
And the Lord know that. Especially when you get them up in the numbers. Like them numbers right now, them people that's there, they really know the fate, the cone of the fatalities. Like they really sin.
That one dude said, well, my own eyes, it's about 400 people.
And he's exaggerating, obviously, because Jake it may be more. This, you know, he just like what I could clearly see. The news not keeping it right. I was saying they play with us. They ain't telling the truth. They can't tell the truth. But this Isaiah 6, and I'm gonna start at 4. It says, "Trust in ye in Yahawah forever, for in Yahawah our power is everlasting strength. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city. He laid it low. He laid it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust." It says, well, let me jump to 8. It says, "Yea, in the way of judgments, O Yahawah, have we," which is the elect, which Isaiah was of the elect line, "for we have waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
When blood, guts, and ashes present, people get
Right.
right. Quick, too. Especially,
Like the gone, bro.
I'm going to tell you, too, the Lord's going to recapture that name he once had in the
Yes.
old time, man.
Halalyam,
man.
That's right.
He had that terrible demon-like power. You finna know that up close and personal, man. I'm going to end it on you, out.
This is Jeremiah 30 and
7.
yeah, I was gonna start at like 6. This is Jeremiah 30 and 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness."
He's scared.
Yeah.
Shame is covering them now, right? Because they had the opportunity to seek the Lord, right? He said, "I have sent my prophets out B times early, telling y'all to come, look, destruction coming." Really, the prophets come to tell the Lord about to destroy this place. It's either to get right or you won't get destroyed. That's most time when the prophets come out for judgment. But their face is gonna be with pain, man. They gonna be afraid, just like these places. You see the judgment. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, losing color, so on and so forth.
Yes.
And like I said, the
Passing out from
Passing out.
coming.
Hearts failing and fulfilling. jerking, throwing up, bowel movements.
That too, man.
They
Niggas gonna
keep-
test some
yeah.
balls out of that day, boy.
Yes.
When you see Leviathan come up out of the Mississippi River or some shit, you gonna you gonna
Oh.
them call up from drawing niggas kid?
Man, one of them, snake shots.
No,
The E-draws.
what they some shit like
Nah,
that.
if you know the name, homie.
Ethical
That's what it is.
Niggas gonna test some ethicals up, man.
Yeah, break that. No,
You know?
the ones they wear when they on the beach. Speedo.
When I say tear them up, I'm talking about fudging your pants, man.
Yes.
You gonna tear up some shit. You know, like the brother said, newly created creatures, some shit. You go outside, some shit looking at you, looking like some shit from Jurassic Park or something. Remember that boy? Oh, hey, what are you, little guy?
That boy, open up.
You don't remember that?
Spit that ass in his face.
Yeah. You know, the Lord gonna do things like that, man. Because he's the Most High. He's outside the box, man. All right? He's wild like that. And like I say, just off the creations that the Lord created, man. And we go into all the time, the shark, the stingray, the damn hammerhead shark, the giraffe, octopus, you name it. The Most High far out. So you can imagine some shit he'd have been holding in the back behind the scenes.
Hey, even things people gonna think things he created, he gonna give them apparitions like this ain't even nothing. Then people gonna and your mind gonna think something is here.
Some bird box. Kind of
Jake Hart gonna jump out his chest and take out running down the street. And he gonna just be right there.
It's gonna be greater. It's gonna be greater than you know how you be back in the world. You was laid up.
Yeah.
Turn the light on.
Yeah.
Sleep with the light on.
The light on. Man, what that was?
Cause you got grown ass,
Yes.
thug ass niggas that scared, man. I know niggas. I'm talking about.
I
I know
know.
some niggas.
I truly.
These niggas shoot the block up.
Yes.
They, man, let some shit go off in
They
that corner.
superstitious.
Yeah,
They superstitious.
They still.
the nightlight.
Yeah, you still sweeping with that broom. They got to spill in the broom. Walk by. You got niggas I know scared of black cats
Yeah.
out here. It's crazy, man.
Hey,
Split the poles.
Yeah, that shit too, man.
the Lord just showed a new creature. If y'all, seen it or whatever, there's a creature in the ocean that had 20 feet, like 20 appendages, man. But it wasn't an octopus. I'll show y'all after this. Finish it. Yeah, he just showed that. They say he never found nothing like that ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, so imagine when the Lord put on His spirit on your ass, there you go. It's gonna be over for you niggas, man. I can see you niggas now. You fighting that bitch like Martin fighting that big rat. What's you just getting tore up, man. And shit jumping off you niggas, man. But anyway, that was it.
I just said something real quick.
Come.
At last, for that day is great, so that is not his life. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out.
Yeah, man. And Lord will, Bible the shop. Lord will, man, we be saved out of it. Please, man. Saved out of this, man. Cause we don't want to, like I said, we don't want to, ultimately, the men of the Lord, we don't want to die over there old. Like really, man, we just want to get the hell out of this goddamn place, man, to tell you the truth. All right? So, man, with that, we hope this lesson was edifying to the point, all right, and actually stir up your minds, man, for around the time to come. So with that, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to
YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI,
once again, double honor to the elder apostles, all right, the men that rule well, teach well, and peace and salutation to the hopeful until next time. Shalawam.
Shalawam.
Shabbat. And Kwame Shalom.
Kwame Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.